Hey guys,
Hey team.
how we going today? We're going to talk about how to break that weight loss plateau. If you've been feeling a little stuck, a little, not moving as fast as you want things to move, maybe demotivated, this is the information that you need that's going to help you to get the scales moving, aiming to get 1 kilo of weight off in the next 7 to 14 days using this strategy to get yourself going again. So let's go through what we've got here. So we're going to start off talking about mindset because that's what it all comes down to, the mental barriers that are holding you back from getting the results that you want with your weight loss. So there are many barriers that could come between you and getting that weight moving. First one being frustration and discouragement. So feeling demotivated due to a lack of progress despite effort and leading to a loss of motivation to continue. So it can be frustrating and it can be discouraging.
And that can lead to binging and stuff like that because it's like, oh, what's the point? I feel crap anyway.
So, this is a mindset that you have to be aware of, not allowing yourself to fall into this trap of frustration and discouragement. You have to acknowledge that you're taking on a very hard challenge, and most people can't do it, but everybody can do it if they follow the right system. So, next one is impatience. So, expecting quick results and becoming disheartened when weight loss slows down or stalls. So, impatience. Got anything on that, Kate?
Um, yeah, I mean, we all want it straight away. It's like you have one healthy day, and it's like you think, well, am I good now? But yeah, it takes time to put on, and it takes time to come off, and it always feels like it takes longer to come off than it does go on. But
I think because it's such hard work when you're on, when you're actually working towards the goal.
when you're focusing on it,
Yeah, and you start putting in a couple of days worth of work, a couple of weeks worth of work, and
it's
you're
not
like,
an effort to put on weight. It's
no,
easy.
it's an
Like,
effort to put in the work
yeah,
to get the weight off.
yeah.
So
And
that's why impatience can come in because you do feel like, yeah, putting in so much work. Why is the results so slow?
yeah.
But there are ways to speed it up, and that's what we're going to be talking about moving forward. So the next one is self-doubt. Questioning your ability to lose weight leads to negative self-talk and reduces confidence. The worst thing you can do is have negative self-talk. If you're talking yourself out of it, then you're never going to do it. You're never going to get there. You're never going to take the right actions because you just think that it's a waste of time because you're doubting yourself. You don't think that it's capable for you. That approach is a 100% failure rate.
Mm. And then you've got your all or nothing thinking, believing that if progress isn't visible, the entire effort is futile, which can result in giving up entirely. And that happens and has happened so many times over our career with everyone. And it's that we do have we have had a lot of all or nothing people in the past, and some of them were people that came into our challenges and absolutely smashed, annihilated the 6 week challenge
That was
back
the
when
that
we
was
had
the
the
all
video,
part,
and then they finished,
and then they get
and
to
then
the
they
nothing part.
yeah, and then they stopped, and it's wild because some of them would lose 10 kilos or something like that, and it was they were just competitive. They were like, I want to win the challenge and do it all, but then they weren't doing sustainable things, so then it just became nothing. So
Yeah. So you got to know when to turn it up, but also know that it's not a sustainable approach. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't mean it's bad. If something's not sustainable, it doesn't mean it's a bad thing.
no,
This is why we detox. Detox isn't sustainable, but it's a very good thing to do.
yeah,
And if you need to lose a bunch of weight, then it's good to take an unsustainable approach for a period of time that is sustainable.
do
So
all and then something.
yeah, that's it. So unsustainable long term versus, sustainable
It's
short
like
term.
get some, because results brings motivation as well. So we always want to see a thing on the scales, or clothing fitting differently or whatever.
And
um
full immersion is the best way to get that momentum rolling.
yeah, and it gives you confidence and proves that it is working, um even if you had to do hard things to get there. So
And then another one is comparison to others. So if you're comparing yourself to others, it creates feelings of inadequacy and frustration. Some people get there faster than others, particularly husband versus wife, male versus female. Overweight male can lose a lot of weight very, very fast, a lot faster than female. So if maybe if you're female and you're doing it with your partner and the weight's just falling off him and you feel like you're putting in even more effort or equally as much and you're not seeing those results, then it can be disheartening, it can be frustrating, but don't compare yourself to other people. Everybody operates at a different level. Everyone has a different strategy that they're taking. and effort level that they're putting in. So
And just your body functions differently, your hormones are at a different level, your life is different, your sleep is different, your everything is different.
the way you respond to food, you could eat the exact same food as somebody else and they could get different results to you
100%.
because your body doesn't respond the same way that their body does.
We were just talking to a client, and she was somebody that had a load of issues previously with insulin, and we had to do some loads of different practices before, and it's taken a while, and then now she's down about 17 kilos, but we had to change things that other people wouldn't have to change. And now her body has picked up and is back to functioning properly, but we had to make some moves there, and do things that other people didn't have to do to get the results that could be the same as someone else.
Okay, next one is fear of failure. So worrying that plateau signifies failure, which can lead to anxiety and a reluctance to continue trying. So I think a fear of failure comes down to also like a fear of judgment. You know, you don't, well, yeah, you don't want to fail to yourself, but also you don't want to be seen as a failure. You don't want to tell everybody, you know, that you're going to do something and then not do it. So you'd rather not tell anybody and not do it.
I feel like a lot of people don't sign up for that reason.
Yeah,
Like,
just commit to something.
yeah,
So
you don't want somebody like holding you accountable because you're scared that you might fail, or you feel like you're going to let them down. And it's not about letting somebody else down. It's about, you know, building up your own confidence to move forward.
truth is, first attempt on anything is a shitty attempt for the most part, for most things. So you have to be willing to fail in a sense, because that failure is what is going to move you forward. Because it's
just fail forward.
Yeah, it's win or learn. There's a good book I read called Win or Learn rather than win or fail. And yeah, you literally fail yourself forward. So you have an attempt and then you have a failure, and then you go back and you think about, where did I fail? And it's like, okay, I was doing the training really well, but I wasn't able to get my diet right. So that's where I failed. So then I'll go back and I'll try again, but this time I'm going to take a different approach. I'm going to do this type of diet instead, or whatever you need to change. And then you go at it again, and then maybe it's a little bit better, but maybe you still fail at reaching your goal, and then you reassess that again, and then you go in for the third time. And the more you do it and the more times you can get under your belt, the faster you're going to get towards your goal. So you almost have to fail in order to succeed.
And there was a great quote that I heard recently, and it was like, I'm only stuck if I stop. And that's kind of on the same thing. It's like the reluctance to continue trying, or to just not start at all. Then you're stuck where you are, or you go backwards. But if you keep at it, something will change. And obviously you might have to tweak things. You can't do the same thing over and over again and expect it to have a different result. But you also need to stick at things for a period of time, because things don't happen overnight.
Ongoing, you just have to keep on attacking it. The more things you try and the more attempts you have, the faster you'll get to your success. The next one is lack of flexibility. So not adapting or trying new strategies. So as Kate just said, like, you know, you have to keep on changing things. Don't just do the same attempt over and over. It's like, oh, I'll go on Weight Watchers, and then it doesn't work. And then you have a month off, and then you go, oh, I'll go on Weight Watchers, and then it doesn't work again. Surprise, surprise. So keep trying different things. Find out what your body responds to best. What we've found is that most people respond best to resistance training and tracking their macros and calories. That's the combination of the system that seems to work best. How you plug that in, that's where you have to really work hard, and that's where it comes down to the individual.
That's where we can help, because we've done that with so many people over the last 14 years. We've seen all the variances, we've seen different people, and we can give you the belief that you can, you know, make progress, but you might have to be flexible, and you might have to give up some things that you like having, or you might have to do some things that you don't necessarily enjoy doing.
And we're going to show you that. We're going to show you some steps to that coming up.
Yeah.
So the next one is over-reliance on the scales. So focusing solely on the number on the scale rather than the other indicators of progress, such as, okay,
like taking photos, or, you know, your measurements,
trying on a different set of clothes every week and then seeing how they feel differently. Body composition scans or DEXA scans.
I've always said to everyone, you would not care if, say, your ideal weight is 70 kilos. You wouldn't care if you were 80 kilos but looked the way that you wanted to look. Like, you just would not care about that number if you were 100% happy with what you were parading around in, essentially. So at the end of the day, the scale doesn't matter. It is an indicator. It does give you some help. If you've got a load of weight to lose, you have a load of weight to lose, and that needs to come down.
Helps you set goals.
Yeah, but if you're doing the resistance training and you're putting on muscle and the body's changing, then it really doesn't matter what the scales say. If you're looking leaner, if you're feeling better, if you're feeling stronger, if you're more energetic, all those sorts of things.
Yeah, so there's much more involved in that, not just relying on the scale. So yeah, so get over the scale. Also, your body's going to respond differently to the different foods you eat as well. So you might have some carbs that make you hold water. Carbs make you hold water. Sugar makes you hold water. So it's not necessarily that you've gained a kilo of weight, kilo of fat, just because you've gained a kilo of weight. Maybe you've put on water weight because you had rice and bread or something like that.
People like freak out if they, from today to tomorrow, you're a kilo up on the scales. And to do that, you would have had to have an excess 7,700 calories yesterday. No one's doing that. Like, that would be an
That's what 1
thing.
kilo of fat
That's
is.
what 1 kilo of fat is 7,700 calories of energy, basically. And so the scale bouncing around, it's the same thing if you just drop a kilo overnight. And it's like you weren't in the deficit that much. Like, so you've got water weight, you've got so many other things, inflammation, everything to factor in.
Yeah. If you focus too much on the scales, then it might actually be a good thing to use the scales every single day so that you can see the fluctuations for yourself and know how much your body and everybody else's body fluctuates. Also, menstrual cycles, weight goes straight up during the menstrual cycle. So another factor that you have to weigh in. If you don't get enough sleep, if you have a stressed day, so many different things, if you drink alcohol. So yeah, you just got to look at the big picture there. Next one is comfort zone. So becoming comfortable with the current routine and resistance to making necessary changes. So sometimes we do get into a bit of a routine that's it's working well in terms of, you get into the gym, you're eating certain foods, but maybe the actual result that you want from that isn't ideal, or maybe it's stagnant, or maybe it's plateaued, and maybe it did work out a period of time and now it stopped working. So that's where you have to realize that you're in a comfort zone and you have to stretch yourself a little bit more. So maybe that means that we need to look at your workout program, make it a little bit more challenging. Maybe
tweak your food, add steps, whatever it is.
Maybe we need to cut your calories. Maybe
and better than yesterday, I think, is a good thing. It's like look at the day before and it's like how can I tweak that just the smallest amount, because every little action creates a reaction.
So you don't want to be in your comfort zone too much when it comes to this stuff. When you're moving forward and you're reaching for a big goal, it's out of your comfort zone for sure. Next one is emotional eating, using food as a coping mechanism for the frustration and emotional stress of a plateau, which can sabotage efforts. So it's very easy for emotional eating because we all do that.
Every single person.
The only way that you would realize that actually is if you go on a fast, on a water fast, and then you'll realize
your mind goes.
Yeah, all of the times that you want to eat, and then after a few days, you'll realize that you're not even hungry, and you want to eat for purposes that aren't related to hunger and certain things as well. So it's a real eye opener to do a water fast for a couple of days. Even one day is an eye opener. And yeah, understand that every single one of us are emotional eaters. And so we have to be conscious of that and not use that as a coping mechanism. So, the mechanism for change is like the point above, which is getting out of the comfort zone and, making things more challenging to really break through that plateau. So unfortunately, that's just how it is. And we want to avoid those emotional times where we reach for food. Instead, we need to find something else that we can do to change our mental state. Maybe it's take a bath or go for a run or a walk or do some exercise, play with the dog.
Get out of the kitchen.
Read a book, distract yourself with something that, is not eating as an emotional state changer. Okay, so pain versus pleasure. This is a psychological principle that states that we're more driven to change by pain than we are by pleasure. So pain-based motivation involves moving away from discomfort, dissatisfaction, or any kind of negative experience. So these can be health issues, so fear of a chronic disease like diabetes, heart disease, obesity, hypertension. It could be physical discomfort, experiencing fatigue or joint pain or difficulty performing a daily activity, like maybe getting in and out of the car or whatever that may be. And, that's the pain around that. You want to get away from that. Emotional pain, feeling low self-esteem, embarrassment, social anxiety related to your weight, negative feedback, receiving criticism or judgment from others about weight or appearance. Maybe someone in your family is letting you have it. You're gaining too much weight, not healthy, blah, blah, blah. So
Only from the overweight person in your family.
maybe.
Like my great grandma used to do it to me all the time.
I used to get too skinny as a kid when I was you know, pre-puberty. I was too skinny.
My great grandma would grab me by here and she was like, Kukla. And she's like, you put on weight. She was overweight her whole life.
For her, it was probably a compliment.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay, so the main benefits of when you're more driven by pain or to move away from discomfort, dissatisfaction, or that negative experience, the main benefit of that is immediate action. So pain can prompt immediate changes to avoid a negative consequence. So understand that you're more than likely more driven by pain. So you need to find out within here, as these examples, maybe there's something that you can think of that drives up the most pain around your current state. Okay, so you're feeling low on self-esteem. You know, when you look in the mirror, you're not happy with what you see in terms of your body shape and your health. You know, when you put on clothes, you never can get fully comfortable in the clothes that you're wearing. That kind of stuff. Do you fatigue too easily when you're walking upstairs or something like that? Or are you just in pain and it's hard for you on your joints? You know, all this stuff we can fix, and we can use that as a driver to move you forward. So that is pain-based, what do you want to call it? Pain-based motivation.
Yeah.
Pleasure is focused on moving towards a positive experience. So this could be improved health, so enjoying better overall health, increasing longevity, energy levels, greater physical fitness,
Future casting, like, you know, future imagining,
future
what,
pacing,
what you're gonna feel like, look like, move like,
enhanced
be like.
appearance, like like looking better, you know, fitting into a certain dress size or pant size or whatever. This can boost your self-confidence and your self-esteem.
And
Not
just like confidence in your improved health as well. Like I feel like so many people have a health anxiety or have it, you know, in the background, but they don't take it quite seriously enough. But it's always there a little bit. But it's like, actually take yourself through the paces and, you know, think about who you can be in the next year, 5 years, 10 years, because we can get better. And you can, there's not a huge amount of examples, but if you do look to some people, there's people getting better over time. And they're the people that motivate me, because when I was younger, I thought as you got older, you just got fat and immobile, because that's what I saw around me. And then we opened the gym and we had all these badasses come through that were 20, 30 years older than us. And I'm like, this is epic. This is, you know, this is the way forward. So
you have to see it to believe it sometimes.
Yeah.
When you see these people that are so much older doing better.
These are everyday people. They're not celebrities. They're not people on all enhancements or looking different. You know, these are just your standard everyday person. And we'd have a guy in his 70s coming to boot camp every morning at 6 a.m. And, you know, just, so many people across the years that really paved the way for me to believe that you can get better with age. And I know I'm so much healthier than I was in my 20s and 30s. So
same.
Yeah.
Positive feedback is another pleasure-driven motivator. So receiving compliments and positive reinforcement from others is fantastic. And when you get on the right track, you will definitely get positive feedback. Achievement of goals, reaching personal milestones such as fitting into smaller clothes or reaching fitness benchmarks, which is awesome. When you can hit a certain weight on the back squat or the deadlift, or do a certain amount of reps, or even complete an exercise comfortably and feel strong in that movement.
And that's where it's important, I think, with training as well, is thinking of training as a way of getting better and stronger and fitter, and thinking of food as a way of getting leaner, healthier, musclier.
Living longer.
The two are different, and you'll enjoy the gym more if you're not there to just drop weight. So, because that is the safest way.
And they both motivate each other.
Yeah.
So when you're training, that motivates you to eat better. And when you're eating really well, that motivates you to train as well.
And when one drops off, the other normally drops off as well.
And you need both of them to really see the change and to really shake things up and to break a plateau. You need both of them. You can't just go back to the gym and keep eating shit. You got to change them both. So the main benefits of being pleasure driven as a motivator is you're focusing on the positive outcomes. It's encouraging, and it's a long-term commitment. It enhances emotional well-being and it reduces your stress. So as we're saying, future pacing, thinking towards the future to a positive outcome. that's a really good mindset, a positive mindset to be in, which makes you happy. And so, and you need to be focusing on the outcome that you want, which we'll talk about more as we go on. Two, getting clarity on your goal. So that's the next part. So what are your health and weight loss goals? So a great way to work out your goals is you want to write them down 100%, and not just write them down in a book, close that book, and then that goes back on the shelf. It needs to be top of mind. So it needs to be somewhere where you'll see it all the time. So for me, I use my A4 diary. So I've got A4 diary here, and I just leave it open on my desk. So it's never closed. It actually doesn't even close properly. Look what happens when I try and close it. It just doesn't close because it's always open. And so that way I can just see all of the things that I need to do on here. And so if you write down your goals every day, or they're at least on a page every day, then you can see them while you're working and they'll stay in your mind. So that's a really important thing. Another thing is to reverse engineer them. So start with your big goal and then break that down into smaller timeframes and smaller actionable items. So with your big goal, you can be more vague and more sort of like,
generic,
broader in terms of what it's going to be. So I wrote down some examples here. And so how we'll break them up is we'll go 1 year, 1 quarter, 1 month, 1 week, and 1 day. So if we start with our 1 year goal, so have a think about what is your 1 year goal relating to either losing weight or just getting into a healthy routine, whatever. So as an example here, I've written lose 12 kilos and establish a healthy diet and exercise routine that I enjoy. Okay, so that's a good kind of broad, but also direct and focused goal there, because we've set a number, 12 kilos. It's achievable over a 12-month period. You wouldn't want to set 12 kilo weight loss as a goal for 3 months or less, but for 1 year it's achievable. And then to establish a healthy diet and exercise routine that I enjoy, it's a bit more broad, but that's kind of giving you the overall scope of what it's going to look like in a year's time. What is your routine going to look like? How are you feeling, kind of thing. You're going to be 12 kilos down and you will have established a healthy diet and exercise routine that you're enjoying. So therefore it will be sustainable and you'll be consistent and you'll keep seeing results. So that's great. And then, but that can't be, you can't just leave it at that, because there's no like, details in that. So we need to actually establish the details within that. So if we break that down to a quarterly goal, what does that look like over a quarter? Well, if you need to lose 12 kilos in 12 months, then you need to lose 3 kilos in 3 months. So we know now what the weight loss goal is for a shorter period of time. In 3 months, you need to lose 3 kilos. And then I just put in here as an example, complete 3 10K runs. So that will be 1 per month, and 60 gym workouts. So that would equate to going to the gym every week, 5 times a week. So over 3 months, that's 60 workouts. So a great thing to do is to have like a board line, like what do you call it, Kate? Where I guess where you tick them off, like you have squares and
it's like a checkbox.
A checkbox thing, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, so write it up somewhere on your fridge or whatever, a calendar almost, where you can cross off each thing. And so
create it in an Excel spreadsheet.
yeah, and so you can cross off like your 60 workouts for the quarter and your runs and stuff like that. But that is broken down from the 1 year goal. And then we go down even granular. So, for 3 months it's to lose 3 kilos, but we still haven't really talked about the details behind that. But the gym workouts and the runs are pretty self-explanatory. 1 month goal, it's to lose 1 kilo, complete 1 10K run, and to get to 20, to do 20 workouts. Okay, so 20 is a third of the 60. And so we break that down. And then the 1 week goal is to meal prep. Okay, so that lose 1 kilo is turned into, I need to meal prep my week, and I need to complete 5 gym workouts this week. And then the 1 day goal is to follow my meal prep, go to the gym, drink 2 liters of water, and get 7 hours sleep. So it breaks down to the daily activities that you have to do. So if you think about the day 1 goals there, follow my meal prep, go to the gym, drink 2 liters of water, get 7 hours sleep. If you do those 1, 2, 3, 4 things, then that over a year, that's going to get you the goal that you want of losing 12 kilos and establishing a healthy diet and exercise routine that you enjoy.
And something good with the 1 year as well, it's like write how you're going to feel once you hit that 1 year goal.
Yeah.
So like what we were talking about before. It's like write down, it's like, lose 10 kilos, establish a healthy diet, exercise routine. And it's like, I am 12 kilos lighter, or, your weight minus 12 kilos. I feel fit and strong. I am healthy. I'm so proud of myself. I've, you know, done all of these amazing things, and I've made decisions towards my health and being better every week this year, you know.
And then you can sit in that feeling, that good feeling, so that can help you create that
You need a why.
that pleasure-based motivation. This is the why.
Yeah.
Getting clarity on your goal is the why. Okay, next. What do you do to reach those goals? So what we're going to do is create a daily and weekly checklist, because every day won't be the same. So every day you want to write a daily checklist. So maybe if you're only working out 5 days a week and you're only running once a week, then that means that your daily task list is going to be different. So maybe Monday is,
Everyone's tasks will be different.
that's right. Maybe Monday is a gym day. So then you would put in, walk 30 minutes, go to the gym, drink my 2 liters of water, sleep for 7 hours, follow a daily meal plan, plan tomorrow. So write out tomorrow's task list and update your app. At the end of the evening is a good time to put in your workout, your walk, your water, your habits, and track all of your macros and stuff as well. And then for weekly tasks, having a weekly task list will be maybe to do grocery shopping twice a week, so that you've always got good food in the house. So there's no excuses. You don't want to get to the end of the week and then it's like, oh, there's no healthy food left in the house. We either have to go into a massive shop, or we could just get some pizzas and then we'll go shopping in the morning. So you want to avoid situations like that where it's the end of a long week.
Decisions creep into your mind, and it's the willpower's down on the weekends. They're tough. There's like sneaky little things that happen in your brain.
Your willpower decreases the more decisions you have to make. So in the day, you make a whole bunch of decisions like, hey, Kate, do you want to go get a coffee? Yes or no, that's a decision. Decision fatigue. So that is draining your willpower. All of your willpower is at full force when you're in the morning and you're setting your day up. So that's where you have to lock everything in and make all the decisions early, so everything's locked in.
That's why a lot of, very successful people who train first thing in the morning, it's like they go and they do everything for themselves first, and then
otherwise it's just not as consistent, even if it means changing your sleeping patterns.
Yeah.
So groceries twice a week, just so you always got the fridge stocked up. Maybe it's once a week for you, maybe it's 3 times a week for you, but whatever it is, get the grocery shopping added into the weekly task list. And then weights workout, so however many sessions you've committed to, 4, 5, 6, whatever it may be, get that on the list there. Your 5K run, if that's what you do. Plan the week ahead, so have a weekly task to plan out the week's worth of meal prepping, and what you're doing that week, and then track your body stats in the app every week. So put in a weigh-in, if you take a measurement or a photo, put that in there, that kind of stuff. So daily task list and a weekly task list. Okay, so let's break down the diet a little bit. Just really super simple strategy is pick your breakfast for the next 7 days. Same for lunches, same for dinners, same for snacks. Pick the same thing and just stick to it for 7 days. Just eat the same thing, and you can change it the following week. If you need to have 2 dinner options rather than 1, then have your 2 dinner options, but keep it as simple as possible. Okay, and as you go through each week, you'll start to change things around, and you'll find what you like and what resonates with you, what sits well, what gets you results.
What you can eat for days on end.
And then you'll chop and change between the things, and eventually you'll have the perfect, simple diet plan that you can follow super easily. You already know for the entire week what the macros are going to be, because you're eating pretty much the same stuff. So you can enter it all in on a Sunday, for example, and the whole week it's all done, and then all you got to do is just follow that plan.
And if you're somebody that just couldn't possibly eat the same thing day in and day out for like dinner or whatever, that's where food prep comes in. And do some bulk prep on a Sunday, make 4 different meals, freeze them, and each night you pull it out and you've got a different dinner each night. For the next 4 weeks, you've got a different dinner each night.
And you also have to think about the priorities as well. Is your priority your taste buds, or the result that you get from the food that you eat?
This goes back to the emotional eating.
So
because we're all eating.
Don't prioritize having an a la carte menu plan over just getting the nutrients in your body and moving on. So, it doesn't have to be a whole fancy pants thing.
There was no other option. like you would survive, because I couldn't possibly do it. And it's like, imagine you're on a deserted island and all you've got is chicken and broccoli.
Yeah.
Like, yes, it's not like whatever your thing is, like whatever your favorite meat and veg meal is, done.
Keep it so simple and
Yeah.
change it up at the end of the week. Change it up on Saturday or Sunday or something
Yeah.
like that. Okay, so plan the week ahead, keep it simple and easy to follow. Enter your meals into MyFitnessPal to make sure you're meeting your macros and staying in your calorie range. You've all been given your set macros and calories, so you need to stick to those numbers because that's what's going to get you the results. And here's an example of how you could set your meals up. So if you have 5 meals a day, the main thing you want to do with however meals you're going to have a day, you need to break up your total protein goal across those meals. So if your protein goal is 150 grams, then over 5 meals, you would have to have 30 grams of protein per meal. So here's an example of a meal plan. So meal one would be a smoothie. So that could be in the morning, either pre or post workout, or on the way to work, or, you know, maybe if you do a little bit of extended fasting in the morning, maybe this is like a mid-morning first meal, something like that. But you want to get your protein in early, and a smoothie is the best way to do it. And if you're training in the morning, it's a no-brainer because you probably smash a liter of water in your training session. Then you'll have the smoothie, maybe then you'll have a coffee or something, and you're good to go. Next meal would be potentially your lunch, and that's where you would have, you know, like a meat and veg or a salad or something like that. Aim to get the protein target hit. And then maybe mid-afternoon, you might want to have some rice cakes with some cottage cheese on there, or some tuna, or some kind of protein that's going to bump you up. Maybe you just have a smoothie to keep it simple. And that would be in between lunch and dinner. Then in the evening, dinner time, something very similar to lunch, just something with protein and a vegetable or salad base. You know, you can have some carbs here if you want. You could have some rice, you could have some potato, something like that. I would avoid the grains like breads and pastas. Keep it vegetable based, and get another 30 grams of protein there, or 20 grams to 30 grams. And then after that, if you usually have a bit of a sweet tooth, or you want something just, you know, a little bit later in the evening, if you eat early, then maybe you could have some yogurt and fruit. Very easy to get your protein. If you're having Greek yogurt, it's already high in protein. Then you could add some protein powder into that Greek yogurt, mix it all in there, add some blueberries, and you've got a relatively low calorie, high protein snack, which is enjoyable and should curb a bit of a sweet tooth if you're used to having some chocolate or some other kind of sugar-based product. This would be a good replacer. And that's 5 meals, and that's going to give you 100 to 150 grams of protein, and that should help you to hit your numbers.
And you don't have to do 5 meals. This is an example. So
do 3 meals.
You could do 3, and you just do 40 grams of protein for each one, or
Even
something
simpler.
like that.
If you can just do 3 meals, just do 3 meals. And it's actually only 2 meals because one of them will be a smoothie. So maybe. So if one of them's a smoothie and then 2 meals, eat the same thing, done. You only have to have 1 meal, eaten twice, and 1 smoothie. So easy. You can do that. Like if you really just focus on the outcome that you want, then you can do this and make it very, very easy for yourself. It's less work. You know, you just got to think, plan ahead, and then execute, and you'll save heaps more time. It'll be easy. And you're drinking water in between, because a lot of you aren't hitting your 2 liters. So you've got to be drinking more water in between these meals as well. So we're hitting 2 liters or more. The actual number is 35 mils per kilo of body weight. So if you times 35 by your body weight, that'll tell you in milliliters how much water you should be having. For some of you, it's 3 liters plus. So check that out as well. Fill in the gaps when you're feeling hungry with water. It's okay to feel hungry. That just means that your body is burning fat. Okay, next up, the training plan. So choose the days and times that you'll be working out. It's important that you choose the times as well. Set them in your calendar and mark them as important. So these are in your calendar just the same way you would have a job interview or a business meeting or a sales call or whatever. Put the workouts in there with the set times. Imagine that Kate and I are your personal trainers, and we are meeting you at the gym at the time that you put in your calendar.
Got an appointment.
Be there for us. Get it done. We're in the app.
Tell us. I'm going to go to the gym at this time.
I will
text us after.
I will FaceTime you at the time that you're going to the gym, if that will make you go there.
If you're sitting on the toilet scrolling, it's going to get awkward.
Or if we're sitting on the toilet scrolling.
Really weird.
Make sure you stick to your calendar and meet all of your health appointments for the week. This includes getting to the gym, your walking, your grocery shopping, your meal prepping, your weekly planning, and your tracking your body stats. Put it in your calendar. Use your calendar. And if somebody says, hey, do you want to do this? Your answer is,
I'm not free until
let me check.
time.
Let me check my calendar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to do that. I always did that back in the day. Even this is when, you know, Kate was not that healthy. I had every Tuesday and Thursday night, I went and did a spin class. People say, hey, do you want to come to this? And I said, oh, I kind of got spin. And they're like, well, can't you change that? I'm like, no, it's in my diary. Like, and so I would go after, and I would quite often go and drink and eat cheese after. We did cheese and wine nights after spin class. But I did my spin class first because it was in my diary and it was just something that I did. And you know, and again, this is like my friends like, stitch it. Like, that's not nice. That's not nice to do to your friends. And I know they weren't trying to be jerks at all. They just wanted to hang out and drink red wine and eat cheese. But yeah, don't sabotage other people, because we've all done that in the past as well. Support them.
Support and accountability. Good timing.
How's that?
Email or message us your goals. We want to know what your goals are, your 1 year goal, 1 quarter, 1 month, 1 week, and 1 day goals. Let us know them, and take body stats and enter it into your app, because that also tracks everything and that will keep you accountable. Keep us updated on your regular progress, wins and losses as well. So that's it, guys. That's how you get out of a plateau. This is going to help you if you follow these steps. Going to help you to shake it off and get that fast 1 kilo weight loss drop in the next 7 to 14 days. I know you can do it, but you got to follow the steps. You have to step it up. You have to get the mindset. You have to do the planning and organization. The mindset leads to the ability within your mindset to plan and organize it, because that's what's lacking, because you've got so much going on in your world and you're so busy, you're failing to plan. And what that's doing is you're planning to fail. So you have to plan and get organized, and it all starts by you opening up a notepad in your phone or grabbing literally a notepad and pen and start writing stuff out. Start writing out your goals, start writing out everything. Just get it all out of your head and onto paper, and straight away you've created way more structure around what it is that you need to achieve. And
everyone's had success in the past, and but you know, success leaves clues. So there's things that you did before that you can touch back on. You might have a different life now, so you might have to change some things, but we can, you know, it's a decision that you made at that time when nothing else was going to get in the way. I think so many of us think, why can't I just go back to that? Why can't I just be that motivated? Why can't I get those results? And it comes down to, it's like, first of all, planning, doing everything that we just spoken about, but then implementing it. It's not an information issue, it's an implementation issue. And everyone's going to throw things at you, and you're going to decide the perfect day for tomorrow, and then you're going to wake up and you're like, all right, I'm going to go to the gym, and I don't know, your car breaks down. So it's like, what am I going to do? Just going to train at home. Like, you know, it's like you have to think of these things, and it's like they never forget to go to the cafe to go and get their coffee. They never forget to go and grab a meal out. They never forget any of those things, but they somehow forget to go to the gym or drink their water or whatever, because it's not top priority. It's not top of mind. And
it's a mindset shift.
Yeah. And so it's like making that the most important thing. And I know it sounds like I have so many other more important things, but nothing is more important than your health. Without your health, you've got nothing. So yeah, people are going to try and sabotage, not on purpose. Life is going to try and sabotage you, but it's like every decision, does this move me forward? Does this move me backwards?
That's right, guys. So get clear on what it is that you want to accomplish and become obsessed with reaching those goals. Hope that was useful, guys. Have a great night, and we'll hear from you. We'll hear from you.